East Kalimantan. The new national capital, EKN, called Nusantara, has been officially used since the EKN Law No. 3 of 2022 was signed by President Jokowi on February 15, 2022. From this name, the government and the People's Representative Council of the Republic of Indonesia, DPR, hope that the capital city located in Sepakan, around Penajam Pasir Utara and Kutai Kertanegara, or Pakanegara, Penajam Pasir Utara and Kutai Kertanegara, will become a symbol of national identity, a world city for all and a driver of the Indonesian economy in the future. The sustainability of world cities, according to the explanation of Law No. 3 of 2022, is a city that manages resources appropriately and provides effective services in the efficient use of water and energy resources, sustainable waste management, integrated transportation modes, a livable and healthy environment, and a synergistic natural and built environment, which also establishes the Indonesian capital city as a city in a forest city, to ensure environmental sustainability with a minimum of 75% green area, and the plan for the Indonesian capital city is woven with a sustainable master plan concept to balance natural ecology, built areas, and existing social systems harmoniously. As a world city for all, the Indonesian capital city, EKN, must be beneficial for the residents of EKN, East Kalimantan, Eastern Indonesia, and the world. For East Kalimantan, and Eastern Indonesia, the relocation and development of EKN is expected to trigger economic growth in this region and make it a new center for economic growth. The population that has been concentrated in Java will be dispersed with the presence of the Indonesian capital city, as well as the development of infrastructure and the economy. The relocation of the EKN to Sepakan, around Penajam Pasir Utara and Kutai Kertanegara, East Kalimantan, Indonesia, will at least save the fertile land of Java Island, which has been increasingly eroded by housing development. For the world, the relocation of the capital and the development of the EKN will not disrupt Kalimantan's position as the lungs of the world. The development of the EKN will not damage the existing forests. Even according to the government's plan, the Indonesian capital city is a smart, green, forest, and sustainable city. This concept is a guarantee for the usefulness of the EKN for the world. The relocation of the EKN to East Kalimantan will encourage the increasing functioning and development of the Indonesian Archipelago Sea Lane, ALKI-2 facility, which has great potential for sea transportation routes for the world and Indonesia. The women's traditional clothing is black cloth, decorated with decorative patterns made of thread and beads called ta or tape esiela, wearing a sleeveless kabaya and a bottom made of similar material. A headdress in the form of a flat round hat with a crest is called tapong aban. Wearing a necklace called oolong and ear jewelry, called balayang. On the wrist there is a row of bracelets called leko kezoan. Men also wear hats with hornbill feather crests with their beaks very dominant. This bird has an important meaning in the lives of tribes in Kalimantan. Symbolically, the hornbill is a bird that carries the spirits of ancestors to heaven. Sepak and Thai traditional clothes. This clothing is the traditional clothing of the Dayak Kinaya tribe. This tribe is one of the Dayak tribes living in East Kalimantan. Sepak is clothing for adult men. This clothing consists of a vest and tight pants, known as a bet kabak. This clothing is also equipped with a mandeo, tied around the waist. Tant is a clothing for Dayak women and consists of a vest like men's clothing. This vest is called sepi inak. When wearing it, Dayak Kenya women combine it with a Thai skirt. In addition, they also wear dae, headdress. Both women's and men's clothing usually have natural motifs, for example tigers, hornbills, and plants. Kustin traditional clothes. This clothing comes from the Kute tribe. The name of this Kustin traditional clothing means grand clothing. This East Kalimantan traditional clothing is usually used by the upper middle class and is made of black velvet. In this variety of clothing, Kute men wear long-sleeved and high-collar clothing. For the bottom, they wear long pants. On the ends of the sleeves, shirt collars, and pants there are golden decorations called pasmen. In addition, there are several accessories worn, for example esi torong or head coverings. For women, this variety of clothing consists of a top like that worn by Kute men, namely a black velvet shirt decorated with pamen. The difference is that this clothing is complemented with silk accessories and is equipped with a skirt and crown. Sakai traditional clothes. Basically, this traditional dress is quite unique because it is made of cloth woven from leather or wood fiber. Although made of unusual materials, this clothing is soft and comfortable to wear. In addition, another uniqueness of this clothing is the typical Kuti batik dip motif. In the past, this clothing was only worn by women. However, along with the development of modern East Kalimantan traditional clothing, this clothing is also worn by men, and the material does not have to be made of wood fiber cloth. This clothing consists of a long-sleeved top, bottom, tape badong, and accessories. These accessories include necklaces, kimbang goyang, jasmine flowers, and roses. Traditional Bulang Karung clothes. This Bulang Karung traditional clothing is not well known by outsiders. One of the reasons why this clothing is less well known is because Bulang Karung is not worn by all groups of people, only certain people wear it. Bulang Karung consists of 3 types of clothing. The 3 types are distinguished by their sleeves. Some have no sleeves and some have short sleeves. In addition, there are also those with long sleeves, or known as linki. Traditional clothes of Bulang Burai King. Bulang Burai King is usually worn in traditional ceremonies of the Dayak people and especially for war. This dress is black and decorated with many striking beads. In addition, the wearer also uses ethnic knickknacks and headdresses made of bird feathers. Traditional clothes of the Naju Dayaks. The Dayak Naju community living in East Kalimantan is not too large because most of them live in central Kalimantan. However, their traditional clothing also colors the cultural diversity of East Kalimantan. Traditional clothing for women consists of vests, short skirts, and belts. East Kalimantan traditional clothes for wedding. The wedding customs of a couple in East Kalimantan are quite diverse. This is of course closely related to the various tribes in this region. With this diversity, the wedding attire they wear is also quite diverse. In addition to Kustin and Sakai clothes, East Kalimantan residents also wear Antak Kusuma clothes in weddings. This attire is sometimes also called Kutai Kuning. In the past, this attire could only be worn by the nobles of Kutai Kartanegara ing Marta Dapura. But now, this attire can be worn by ordinary people in wedding processions. Antak Kusuma clothing is yellow in color, short-sleeved, and decorated with beads. In addition, this clothing is also combined with red songket as the bottom and various accessories. For the bride, the accessories used are belts, bracelets, necklaces, crowns. The accessories worn by the groom are almost the same, but added with pending.